kind of want to call your mom right now. Like, I'm pretty anti-narc. You deserve to be narked on right now. Steve and Jason met while co-hosting one of the first podcasts ever, hundreds of miles away from each other, but bonded through the magic of the internet. Since the end of that podcast in 2023, the geeky guys decided to keep on hanging out and keep podcasting, because still after all these years, Steve and Jason are having a real fun time.
So, I regaled you with tales of my excursion upward into the sky in the St. Louis Arch. And now I have the rest of the story, as Steve Harvey would... Not Steve Harvey. Paul Harvey. As I was saying, the Midwest Tour 2025. It was a fun vacation. There were some things that happened. One thing that didn't happen was an exciting riverboat tour. I don't know if you've ever been on the mighty Mississippi.
I've driven past it and thought, that's a river.
Okay. Up to this point, me as well. And it's big. And now I can say it's big, super dirty, and has chunks of tree floating in it.
I mean, that every body of water has parts of trees floating in it.
This one had tons. Like the boat that we were on was just like cutting through it the whole time. And my wife took a riverboat tour in Chicago and was like, oh, they talked about the history of Chicago and all this architecture, and it was so interesting. I didn't want it to end. And we took this one, and the guy, he could tell us about the grain elevators along the river and what they used to be used for, because none of them are currently. And the tour more or less went, it felt like several feet. I know it was like, a half mile or whatever, but it went a little ways down the river and then turned around and basically came back to the same spot it was at before we ended. It was not a long tour, and it was not a good tour. So that was definitely the low point of the seeing stuff on the vacation.
What did this advertise itself as on the brochure?
I'm pretty sure just a Mississippi riverboat tour. I didn't see it. My wife is the one that looked it up. So
I feel like these things need to say what you're going to see on it, because scenic grain elevators and chunks of tree. Also, like a half mile? Walking tours are more than a half mile. How slow is this boat?
Extremely slow. And the man doing the tour, doing the speaking part of it, was even slower. So, like I said, not a high point. But outside of that, everything was groovy. I think I slipped a multiverse or two. And, oops, my buddies back home brought their dads back to life.
Like, they cast a spell or something, or?
Like, I don't know. Like, I would swear to you, going home, that two of my best friends in high school, their dads, both passed away sometime after I graduated college. Yet, when I spoke with one of them directly, he described how his dad is one of those Fox News watching conspiracy theorists, and it's ruining his brain, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time I'm just thinking, but your dad's dead.
Here's the thing, Jason. Two things can be real. All right. I don't want to give you another idea for a movie you're not going to let us release this podcast over, though you'll never write. But Ghost Dad? We have to remake it because we can't talk about Bill Cosby anymore. So at first, it's very comforting to the child to still have his dad watching over him. But now all he does is sit and watch the news and get mad about ghost immigrants.
So that scene in Ghostbusters 2 where the people come off the Titanic, they're all ghosts, that would really tick him off.
More so when the ghost drives the cab and it's taking an American ghost's job.
Okay. Luckily we have a very notable podcast that we can put all this information down from. So we'll have that for the record. Thank you very much. So yeah, that was kind of shocking. I told my wife multiple times, I'm like, I would have told you that those people had passed on, and that is not the case. And I still don't know when or where that happened. But as with everything, I feel somewhat responsible.
Wait, okay. You're responsible that he's alive or that he's racist?
No, neither one. I mean the alive part, but it's the Truman Show part. This all revolves around me, so they were just written back into the script, and it's all just because I'm forgetful now, I think.
Okay, how many friends would you swear that their dad is alive right now from that time in your life?
Alive. I mean, I again, not many close friends, so I can't say that many, but one.
You need to send that guy flowers because his dad is dead and you never said anything.
That's not true. We're not close anymore. I haven't spoken with him in years, so no, I'm in the clear there. The one dad who is most likely alive is not a part of my life anymore.
Well, if we're only caring about things that affect you, none of this matters.
Okay. On with the podcast. So the final aspect of our trip is one I haven't, well, I've told my family about because they know that it culminated in me getting what I wanted, but...
Wait, is there a PlayStation 6 that I don't know about? What's going on?
No, there's no video game system. This is a much, much cheaper, much sillier thing to obtain. So before we went on the trip, my wife and I sat down and we decided to watch the Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay.
So this is not a great film. It's not a terrible film. It's just a film. Watch it, enjoy the nostalgia, throw off your brain, just have a fun time. So we watched that, and a couple days later, before we left, I'd seen commercials for it, but I saw somebody on, I believe it was a Giant Bomb stream, had talked about getting one. And it was a commemorative cup from Subway featuring one of 4 characters, I believe, from the movie. Again, not a seminal film that I want to remember in any way. I was just like, a Shooter McGavin cup would be cool.
Okay, honest question. Did you think a Shooter McGavin cup would be cool? Or was you being able to look at that cup and feel like you were part of Giant Bombcast because you had the same cup as Giant Bombcast kind of cool?
I mean, it's a little column A, a little column B. Okay, a little column A, mostly column B. But still, heart wants what the heart wants and all that. This was at Subway, so my son adores Subway. It's like one of his favorite places to eat when we travel. When we would, pass one, he would say, "Ooh, is it lunchtime yet? I want to eat at Subway." And knowing that they had the cups, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally for that. Let's do that." He would like that. And then my wife would inevitably say, no, we can do something else than Subway. We eat Subway all the time at home. I was like, all right, you're absolutely right. Sorry, buddy. Okay, that's fine. And he would be fine. He would shrug it off. And I'm just thinking, almost that time. Oh, well. So we're finally flying back, like on the last leg of the trip. And we are stopped in Chicago and thinking of a place to get some food before we get on the plane. We're hungry. We want to get a little something. So I'm looking around and I see, okay, there's this little cafe. I don't think I have anything that he would want. The green and yellow from on yond I spot. Could it be? It is. It's a Subway. So I mentioned it. Of course, my son latched onto it. Yes, Subway, Subway, Subway. And my wife says, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. He says, okay, I'll go order while you go do something else. I can't remember what it was. Some other little thing I had to do before we took off. And I reversed that and said, no, you go do that. I'll order. It'll probably take longer. It'll be more strenuous. I'll take that for you, dear. So I could go and order all the food for everybody, including my Happy Gilmore 2 commemorative Shooter McGavin cup.
Because she wouldn't have gotten that cup.
No. I wouldn't have asked her to. I wouldn't have said anything about, please give me a Shooter McGavin cup. So I get up to the line. I order all the food. I order the meal that's going to have the cup with it, just to make sure. And get to the end, and I've got all the cups and everything except for the commemorative cup. And a woman says, "Oh, you're supposed to have another drink." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's actually, I was hoping to get one of the commemorative cups. I'd paid for it." And she's like, "Oh, the I can't remember what she said. The Netflix cups." I was like, "Sure." Whatever you want to call it. So she goes over to this like cardboard box that has stacks of them in there. And she's going through and she's like, "Okay, what do you want a particular one?" And I'm like, yeah, that one. And I point to the McGavin cup that's displayed. She says, oh, okay. And she goes through all of them, and she's going through reams, and all she has is Ben Stiller. I'm like, no, I did not come this far to settle for Ben Stiller. Said everyone everywhere. Just kidding. I love Ben Stiller. Great man. Does great work. But I did not want that cup. So I told her, she's going through reams of these cups, and I'm like, there's nothing else. So I was like, that one will be fine. That's fine. It's fine. And she goes, no. She finds one more box that's like hidden back behind some other things. Goes to pick it up, drops it. I'm like, okay, that'll have the one I want, and it just got cracked. So she finally gets it open, opens the flaps, starts going through cups, and she starts going through like every cup in a whole ream, and she finally, oh, that one? Holds it up, and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. So, I want to reward her. I don't want to say like, no, don't worry about it at this point. She found it, so I want to give her some, reward for that being part of my experience.
Your happiness isn't reward enough for her?
Apparently not. Not in my mind. I should just get the fireworks and the victory pose and everything. But so I got my cup, and I'm sitting there with it, and my wife notices it, and she's like, oh, I didn't know they had the cups for the movie. I was like, yeah, I thought it'd be fun to get one. Like, it's just on a whim, not the thing I've been planning for this entire vacation.
It's what, a quarter more? I mean,
when I was a kid, I saw the movie The Page Master. Do you remember that with Macaulay Culkin? And he goes into a book, so he's animated, and he has like 3 animated book friends. Huge movie.
I was going to say, no, you're misremembering Little Nemo, but I think Macaulay Culkin had 2 movies where he went on fantasy adventures. So I think you're correct.
Oh yeah, I mean after Home Alone, yeah, he was the hot ticket. So after seeing the movie and being enamored with it, this is again all because HBO told me it was going to be a huge movie. It was not. It's a massive flop, like just one of the worst flops in history, I think, as far as animated movies go. I knew there was a book that it was based on, and I'm like, man, I want to get that book. So revolving around the entire trip up to Kansas City to see my relatives, I lied to my parents that I had to write a book report on this book. I did not. So I had to get the book. And we drove through downtown Kansas City to this bookshop that had just closed, and like got somebody to let us in to get this book that I had called about, and got the book. And I never told them. And I don't know where that book is now.
Did you at least read the dang thing?
Oh yeah, I read it cover to cover on the way home. Probably made me sick as a dog, but so yeah. It's probably been my entire story on this podcast. If I want something, I'm going to get it. Woe be you if you're in my way.
I kind of want to call your mom right now. Like, I'm pretty anti-narc. You deserve to be narked on right now.
Considering I supposedly narked on somebody an episode or 2 back, yeah.
No supposed, you did, but
I was thinking as I was talking about that, I'm 70% sure I know where that Shooter McGavin cup is. I'm going to go up and look after this. Let's see if I can even locate it.
Oh, please go up there, check on it, and have it be Ben Stiller. That would just make my day.
Oh my God. I would just stumble backwards until I backwards off my balcony and break my neck.
What's your wife's phone number? I'm going to send her to Subway and have her switch it out, because that's what you deserve.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Steve and Jason Are Having a Real Fun Time. We hope you had a real fun time too. Please like us on whatever platform you found us on, and, well, just like us in general.